I suppose we should start this month's watching brief just by picking up on something which we didn't, or rather that we missed last month. I think quite justifiably we missed this, but a wonderful viewer did point it out as a story, an important story that we didn't pick up on, and I wanted just to rectify that with a brief sort of editorial note. Kicking this off, and that is in the news that on the 22nd of March, a series of earthquakes began early in the morning that have had an effect on museums in Croatia. Zagreb, the city experienced a series of earthquakes that had varying amounts of damage to different cultural and museum buildings. The Museum of Arts and Crafts on Sunday, an article published on the 23rd of March, um, published a photograph which testifies to the extensive consequences of the quake, and most curators began reporting on Monday on the situation in each of their museums. It looks as though damage has been quite widespread, and different buildings are affected to different extents. We're also going to be linking below to a Smithsonian article as well. And I mean, I think it's okay that this wasn't on our radar just about last month, in so much as there was an awful lot going on, and we were particularly focused on our sector's response to coronavirus. But what's your impression of this story and its effect, as it were?
Well, I think it shows, stepping back for a second, it shows the importance of lifting our eyes up from coronavirus and looking at the other things that are going on.
Mm,
I think, as our viewer will hopefully discover over the next hour or so, we've managed to find a lot of archaeology that's happening and has happened. So life goes on, but also problems go on as well. And the issue of resilience in museums is one that we've covered before.
mm,
People might remember the case of the awful fire at the Brazilian Museum in Rio de Janeiro, I think last year,
mm,
which we covered
mm,
extensively. Fortunately, this appears to be not quite in the same league. We're talking about damage rather than total destruction.
yeah. Mm,
But even so, I wouldn't want to play it down. A number of museums were damaged. Smithsonian report also that Zagreb Cathedral, the Roman Catholic Cathedral,
mm.
was heavily damaged, including part of a tower which came down, damaging the bishop's palace.
Oh dear.
Um, so, yeah, and I think we have to remember again, this is happening against the background of coronavirus. Croatia is as badly affected as any other country in Europe at the moment, and Smithsonian quote the Interior Minister of Croatia, Davor Bozinovic, who told Reuters, "We're fighting two enemies at the moment. One is invisible and the other is unpredictable."
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. To put it into perspective, actually, Smithsonian in their sort of sub headline says that the tremors arrived in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and was the worst earthquake that the Croatian capital has seen for 140 years. So in that sense, apologies to our viewer for not picking up on that, but also at the same time, hopefully we've drawn some attention to this now, and also hopefully we'll be able to look at what the reports coming out of the museums are saying. In fact, it might be helpful for next month's watching brief, if anyone has any links. Do send them our way, because it's not always easy to find specifics, but it'd be good to know more about that story.
Particularly, absolutely, I'd endorse that, Mark. Anyone who is either watching it in Croatia or has links to Croatia and can
Mm,
pass on information to us, particularly things that we might have missed because it's not in English.
yeah,
That's always a problem with this covering a story from another country,
yeah, yeah.
where English isn't the first language. So
Well, and
we apologise that
search
we missed
engines
things.
and all that kind of thing as well, So Google will be
Absolutely,
serving up particular news to us.
yeah,
So yeah, so
yeah.
that's a little editorial scoop from last month we wanted to rectify for this month.